Okay, so this is Sultai Kasmina here. We've played variations of this deck on stream before. This is our first time playing this one on stream. This is a viewer-submitted variation that looks like it has a lot of neat ideas incorporated. First that we've got Kiora here, which is a card that we've played in the Teamer variation. That's very sweet with Kasmina, you know, lets you basically make a 6/6 and keep your Planeswalker around and then go up and do it again. Lovestruck Beast is an inclusion in this deck. I think this is one I should consider in some of my other Kasmina lists. Just a good card, you know, Eldraine staple, and cares about 1/1s, and not only does Saheeli make 1/1s, but Kasmina lets you pump out 1/1s on demand, so this deck should be very good at having Lovestruck Beast just be a 3-mana 5/5 with basically no downside. We got the typical Black Disruption, good quality removal and sweepers. Karn is a sweet card advantage planeswalker that also has some decent synergy with Saheeli. Also frequently tends to have large loyalty amounts, so it can work well with Kasmina here. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this and see how it goes here today. Seems sweet. So, I think, especially because we're on the play here, I'm going to go ahead and lead on a tapped land here, and the next turn we can go second tapped land Inquisition of Kozilek. Get our curve real nice, and then this gives us some flexibility, so we'll lead on this, and then we'll see if we want to play our second discard spell this turn or not. Huh. So obviously taking Helix here, the question then becomes, do I want to Thoughtseize this turn or do I want to wait to Thoughtseize? I think I like waiting. Do I get that? And now, like, which planeswalker do I get going first here? Do we want to get our Scries going with Kasmina? Do we want to get Saheeli down so our subsequent spells make tokens? It feels like there's value in getting Saheeli out first here, so that way I can get tokens off the rest of my things. And naturally, this is a memory lapse for people that haven't played against Jeskai control before. A2 Snowbee, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hey, Yoda! Almost missed that one. Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate the continued Prime support. Welcome back. Ooh, it resolved! Nice. Just the Magma Opus. Okay, so Opus is a little scary. Opus puts some pressure on us to make this Thoughtseize happen. I mean, for people like... I would not assume that my opponent's intentionally slow rolling in that instance. Remember, you know, people are usually doing things while playing Magic simultaneously. So, you know, they could have someone at their door, their pizza could be ready, their toddler could have knocked over their drink. Lots of considerations there. Jeff, I'm working while playing MTG. And now, since we hit the lands here, we get to go ahead and do this.
Fate is too dangerous to leave unfettered.
As a man with a 9-month-old child, I can say not every instant solo plays BM. Yeah, exactly that. So, do we send her up here again? I think because we scryed bottom, we send her up. There could be merit to down-ticking to put enough pressure to encourage the Wrath of God.
What's not to love? I'm brilliant, handsome, and totally electrifying.
Did it just play a Ral voice line? Was that... That was a Ral Zarek voice line, right?
Help myself.
A blend of math and magic.
Does 5 power make them sweep next turn? I feel like 5 power is probably enough to make them sweep, right? I think I want to... Yeah, keeping Kaz out of Helix range, so it has value too. Ooh, that's a good thought. Maybe I should make it a 4 so we have a 3-turn clock. I kind of wanted to keep her out of Helix range too, was my reason for making a 3. You draw a card from Ikura if you make a 4/4. That is not how that works. So, unfortunately, this card this effect makes a token. Makes a token and then puts counters on it. It enters as a 0/0. A little bit of anti-synergy between those two from that perspective.
How you work.
Okay, and now we just make them have a sweeper, right? We just put 13 power into play.
Let's put fractal theory into practice.
Big enough Karn structure QR. They do. Nice. Sweet game. Really kind of showing the flexibility of our gal there. Okay, so Languish is an easy cut. This is probably a Lovestruck Beast out matchup, right? While like the pressure is okay, this is largely an anti-aggro card, I think. I think we want disputes and trophies here. Oh, you know what? They're a Gear Hulk variation. We wouldn't board this in obviously against stock Jeskai with Kira, but I think against the Gear Hulk variation, we want Relic, huh? Oh, you know what, Bob? Relic and Cling is a lot of graveyard hate. Playing better than Relic with them being Gearhulk based? Yeah, potentially. I really don't like Graveyard. So I don't think playing 4 or 5 pieces of Graveyard Hate is awful. I just think that like these two explicitly have anti-synergy with each other, right? So like I feel like I'd rather be on like 3 to 4 Cling or like 3 to 4 Relic and not a split of the two. So I like where your head's at. I just don't like them together. Thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Is this a spell? This might be a spell, huh? Yep, that looks like it's spelled to me. So everybody, just come and see Kasmina's gonna -3. I don't have any more rhymes from there. Hey. That's all I got, chat. That's all I got. Na 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 na. I think we're gonna have to re-record the Oko rap if Mirror drops and he dies to Fry. I feel like I'm obligated to do that. Oh, I forgot to tweet out the sweet deck winners. Christy hasn't been feeling well the last couple of days, so we haven't put together the prize stuff yet, but we picked out the, what were they? I can tell you what they were. We had, there was a Sultai Unite the Elves combo, had a 2-2 finish, and Abzan Yorion had a 2-2 finish for our 2 sweet deck winners. This is the part where we get Gearhulked and they dumpster us, right? Oh, just a memory lapse, deal. Hey, Scruff McGruffin, thanks for 19 months. Good morning, good morning. Life Snuffery, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. It's very possible that we made a treasure. Excuse me? Are they planning just like flashback memory? That was super aggro, right?
There are so many mysteries with thoughtfulness before action.
Okay, and then we're locked out at this point, right? I do this. They're gonna veto this and then we die.
Beware the ember that ignites an inferno.
It's another reason why the Jeskai deck is so powerful. Being able to wheel like that's a big deal. I disagree with you, Kesbet. I think your tunnel visioning on the games that feel bad. So Jeskai Control is a deck that, in my experience, people have such a hard time evaluating their decks against because Jeskai always feels bad to play against. If the Jeskai Control deck is playing Magic, it feels bad. Is just the reality of what playing against their deck is. So it's really difficult to evaluate in the objective perspective, like, oh, how does this matchup feel? Because if their deck is functional, you're probably not having fun. Even when you're winning, the games feel tedious and a slog. Mommy Makeout, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. You know, maybe I should Inquisition first there.
Those who cannot perceive beyond keep an open mind.
Any guesses for why that feeling is much greater in Arena or Paper? Do you feel that same way? No, I think playing against decks like Jeskai in Arena feels much better than playing against them in Paper. Because when I play against decks like this in Paper, it takes my whole round. On Arena, I can just concede and get to the next match right away.
Hone your prowess.
Oh, I messed up. So I should have shocked in this so I could hold up black here. Because if I find Thoughtseize, I want to be able to Thoughtseize plus do... No, I guess this is fine though, right? So I can Thoughtseize... Yeah, we just Thoughtseize the Gearhulk. And then I don't need to hold up Cling. So, float mana, I actually disagree with your assessment there. Part of the Jeskai Control decks are very similar to things like Rogues.
Still have much to learn.
I take back what I said. The matchup's awful and it's unwinnable. Alright, anywho, sorry. So what I was saying is, the Jeskai deck's a lot like decks like Rogues, in that they're a great example of a deck that's so interactive, it's overbearing. So, like, unlike in puzzles, you have lots of choices to make and you feel like they matter. A deck like Jeskai, it frequently feels like your decisions don't matter because they all just run into memory lapse, right? Like, it's not a puzzle when you look at your hand and go, which spell do I cast? It doesn't matter, they all get memory lapse. Which is why generically powerful answers like memory lapse are so tough to include in formats like this, because they narrow your counterplay. Whereas, like, say your opponent has something like Censor or Mana Leak, cards like that where you get to make a conscious decision, hey, do I want to play around this thing, and how do I play around this thing? That decision doesn't exist against things like memory lapse. Because no matter what you do, you get tagged by it.
Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Because I am.
Good Lord, the top of their deck is offensive.
Let's take it.
Holy crap. Holy crap. Just like top deck Gearhulk into Memory Lapse Teferi and then the land for Teferi. Like, oh gosh.
Beware the ember that ignites an inferno.
Let's skip to the good part.
We have like this turn to kill Teferi, and then we'll concede if we can't. Or if we try and they counter. So, I would like the record to reflect, and I think that this is a very important thing to acknowledge. It's very easy to be super frustrated about what happened this game and just talk about how the Jeskai players' draw was nonsense and we got very unlucky. We got unlucky this game. But the fact that we got unlucky doesn't remove the fact that I made a mistake, right? When you go back to the turn where my opponent top decked to Gearhulk, I explicitly mentioned how I should have shocked in my breeding pool and kept 2 black up so I could cling plus Thoughtseize that turn. And if I cling plus Thoughtseize that turn, I have a Narset on 3, my opponent has a 5/6, and I drew an answer to the 5/6 and it would have gone away. It would not have mattered that my opponent got lucky and drew their 3rd Torrential Gearhulk if I had played properly. And that's one of the questions people often ask, right? Like, how do I get better at Magic? What do I need to focus on? That's just such a great example. Your opponent being fortunate doesn't excuse the mistakes that you made to allow them to get fortunate. Like, yeah, drawing the 3rd Gearhulk is like low probability, but I gave them that out. I didn't have to give them that out to play to with proper sequencing. Easy mulligan, right? No blue. Fine. Not amazing, but fine. Thanks for the follow, Nico. Could be Esper, could be a 4-color variation. Find out. Doom Foretold, maybe? I wasn't prepared for Grixis Yori in chat. My body wasn't ready. Alright, I completely disagree with your take there, Juka. While that's some nonsense. Like, the opponent's deck is full of powerful top decks. Literally, the only top deck that Shocking It In played around was Gearhulk, so mentioning their other good draws is completely irrelevant there. In fact, I had a Narset in play, so basically every other one of my opponent's good draws were rendered useless by Narset. So Gearhulk was, in fact, their only good draw. Again, that doesn't excuse the fact that I made a mistake, but this other random stuff that you're bringing up is nonsensical. I think your take is bad too, J Boogie. Like, people are just bad and that's why the control deck is good. No, we have like 2 to 3 weeks of objective data at this point that says the Jeskai deck is very good. Me making a mistake in that instance that I just made doesn't say anything about the power level of the Jeskai deck. It says contextually about this very specific game that we're currently playing that I made a mistake in. But the Jeskai deck has been putting up some of the strongest finishes in the format consistently for weeks now. It is very good.
With thoughtfulness before action.
We take our Enigma Sage here. If this resolves, we can start digging for lands. Should ban Helix so my aggro deck can dump Civic. I mean, yeah, Helix is a part of the puzzle, right? They have, like, in Helix and Memory Lapse both, right? They were both cards that kind of removed those what do I play decisions from these decks, right? Like, you look at control decks.
Power? Hurricanes beat dragons. Question.
That was a RAL voice line for Narset. Apparently when we plus Kasmina on other planeswalkers, we get RAL voice lines now. But anywho, that's that important detail, right? Like, we have objectively best answers. We no longer have to think through which answers we're playing is huge. Like, before Helix, right? Look at the types of removal spells Jeskai played, right? You had Baffling End, Bone Crusher Giant, Deccan Stone. Some control decks played things that, like, destroyed target tap things. Like, there was so many things like that. Oh, yeah, Bob, some Shifty Boys sound great. Shifty Boy even draws a card with Kiora. I like that idea. Let's jam some Ceratops in here after this game.
I battle for the forces of good. Well chosen.
Keep an open mind.
Hey, the gang's almost all here. Shifty Boys up in your face. Smashing. Shifty Boys up in your base. Smashing, drawing cards, and smashing face. There we go. Shifty Boys up in your base. Drawing cards and smashing face. Love it.
Will resonate throughout the multiverse.
No! Bad Grixis. I don't really seem to have graveyard elements. Disputes and trophies in. Languish, Lovestruck out. Hey, nice, Mika. Congrats. Christy and I are taking Gen Con off this year, especially with the kids. Hopefully going back to school in the fall. We don't want to do too much all at once. Looking forward to next year for Gen Con, I think, again. Here's hoping there's the world still exists and hasn't imploded and there's Gen Con next year. I guess we Kiora here first. She's kind of unassuming, and if they let her resolve, we Inquisition, and then burning a counterspell on Kiora feels like a net win for us, right? Our 8-year-olds was just signed up for clinical trials for Pfizer. Yeah, hopefully it's coming. It's coming for everyone. I think it was approved. It was approved for down to 12, right? So we're gonna slowly work our way down.
Don't miss me too much.
Ingredient, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. It's about to miss. No, it's not. Okay, so Rampage, Fry, Iteration. I think we just take their draw 2, right? And then plan to grind through the 1-for-1s. Nice top deck. Yep, gave them the extra land to have this mana here.
My prowess is on home your prowess.
You know what card I have missed a little bit, Bob? No Abundant Harvest for smoothing has felt a little bad. Definitely missed the small bit of consistency that card adds. We've played that in the other builds. Oh, you just cut them directly for Beast? I wonder if we're supposed to go up a land if you're doing that. Because, like, those cards are, like, pseudo-lands in a way. Yeah, we're just too far behind on tempo at this point. Yeah, I could see going up a castle. Yeah, we're on 20. We're on 26 with Zagoth Triomes. I think that sounds reasonable. Welcome back, Kraken. Sure. I think we shock on one so we can discard spell their discard spell potentially. Go dog. All right, we're on a clock, chat. I guess we'll Thoughtseize that, huh? I guess we'll Thoughtseize that. I'm pretty sure we just Narset, forcing this, because otherwise they get to Omen of the Sea, and I don't want them to be able to use their mana with us not. It feels bad that doing this means we guaranteed miss our land drop, though.
I have practiced against men. I have just the trick for this.
We're ditching the card that doesn't play to the board here. Yeah, this will land drop again.
Meditate and prepare.
All right, we're a little bit ahead at the moment, even if we're behind on mana. So if we find untapped lands here, Baleful Mastery gets to deal with the Chandra without giving them any value. Oh, I don't even have to hit the land, right? I could just upkeep, do this, and then I think this works out fine, chat. Because they'll draw from the Baleful, but then they skip their draw steps, so... Letting them get to the Narset. And they drew the Blood Crypt anyways, so...
I don't need this.
I suppose if they drew, like, Fry or something, we could have gotten punished. Well, I mean... Sure. You know, it might actually be right to get Kasmina going first here, because she lets Narset tick up. Vegas After Dark, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel today. Yeah, it might have been right to do this first, because then this would be down ticking this turn.
I teach is a key to many doors.
This was overwhelming.
What's not to love? I'm brilliant, handsome, and totally electrifying.
Your patience is rewarded.
Opponent could have a good sequence from here, but definitely feels like we're in the driver's seat at this point.
Clearly, I have nothing to teach you.
I'll make use of that later.
Rael does have great voice lines, you're not wrong.
If it's a challenge you want, then a challenge you'll get. I know 88 ways to put thoughtfulness before action.
I have a family outing planned for Saturday, James. Also, I'm taking more weekends mostly off for June. I think we want some. I think we want that 26 land, and we want some shifty boys in the sideboard. Hey, good games, tour guide. Good luck in the rest of your laddering today. How many Shifting Ceratops is too many Shifting Ceratops, chat? Five. Chat found the right answer. 5 is correct. I'm gonna do 2 dispute, 3 shifty, I think. Ooh, look, this hand wouldn't be keepable without our extra land, chat. It's not great, but we get to keep it. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. Jonathan, thanks for the entire year. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Well, I'm glad we just loaded a bunch of Shifting Ceratops into the sideboard. Alex Blade, thanks for the follow. Is Wrathagod my future? Get some Karn advantage going here.
Yep, I'm reckless and unpredictable.
Time has come.
This isn't a fight. Oh, that
Good choice.
Okay. Another sweeper here. Morning, Logan. Alright, so we want our top card to be Lovestruck Beast or Kasmina here. We can kill the Teferi.
Not to brag, but my friend's kind of a big deal.
Let's skip to the good part.
And then I think we're in garbage time at this point, right? They get to commit my next play. They have Teferi going. Got to see there why Lovestruck Beast is a card that we get to cut out here. Disputes, trophy, shifting in. Lovestruck, Languish, and Bloodchief's Thirst out. Actually, honestly, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to try my Kiora. She's kind of mediocre here. Yeah, I agree, Pelly. Like I've talked about a lot in the past, I think, in general, Magic's best formats involve aggressive or mid-range decks being the headlining deck of the format. The average play experience against things like Jeskai tend to be on the lower side of the magic spectrum. Rakdos? Which Rakdos deck are you playing? You playing Arcanist? Arcanist? You just like trying to hope they don't resolve Rest in Peace? Is your plan? It's like you basically never beat a Rest in Peace, right? You like the cat and mouse dance of control mirrors? Well, I'm not talking about control mirrors, what, Sphinx? I agree with you that, like, Jeskai versus Jeskai will frequently have a lot of interesting decisions. I'm talking about the quality of gameplay that the average non-control deck has against control decks in this format. What I'm talking about doesn't consider, like, quality of mirror matches. I also agree with that. I think Dovin's veto removed a lot of the nuanced and interesting decisions from control mirrors in Magic.
You've never seen anything like this.
Zoomers these days don't understand having to actually sequence properly, because you could just have like this no button that like makes up for your bad sequencing.
To fight another day.
They're ready for our Shifty Boy chip. Back in my day, when your opponent last breath, you're out of the Mutavault, now you couldn't win the game. Well, did you board out your Elixir of Immortality? Why'd you need the Mutavault? Mutavault wasn't there to win the game. Mutavault was there so you could pressure Planeswalkers. Another Shark Typhoon here. To personally attack a number of Magic boomers in chat that remember it. Yeah, exactly what Beetle said. Playing Aetherling in your deck was an admission of failure on your part as a control player. You only registered Aetherling in RTR Standard if you were incapable of playing quickly. Aetherling was a crutch, chat. The good control players in that format didn't register Aetherling. They won the game with Elixir of Immortality. You only need to win one game to win the match. Yes, exactly that. You won 101 a significant number of matches. Man, I'm ready to slide off the face of the planet when they play a blue source next turn. I think we just take Teferi. Oh man, this game. Oh, this game, chat. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Jeff, you deserve a timeout for that. That was all your fault. Yeah, that's fair. I just really want them to iteration here, chat, so I can pierce their divination.
Fate is too dangerous to leave unfettered. I'll see you after class.
Get her resolved while they don't have blue mana up. What kind of music do I listen to? 90s punk pop, mostly. Late 90s, early 2000s. Paramore, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy. I think this is a spell. Pass. So classic rock? Why must you hurt me in this way? What did I ever do to you that you must tell me that this is classic rock? Yeah, 3 days grace, Seether. Nickelback. Look at these photographs, chat. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Oh, I didn't say Linkin Park, chat. How could I not mention Linkin Park? Rip Chester, man. He helped me understand I should have been upset with Republicans long before I realized I should have been upset with Republicans. Golden Oreo Mini, thank you for the 17 months. Welcome back. Meteora. Meteora is good. I like all their stuff, but what's it called? Minutes to Midnight. It's a little different.
The knowledge I teach is a key to many doors.
Brutal. I was going to make a token after I Inquisitioned. Rough. You still feel like Historic is in a good spot? It's fine. I think I would enjoy it more if Jeskai Control was a slightly worse deck. No, Teferi 5 has nothing to do with why. Teferi 5 is fine. Just for the sake of clarity and where I come from. When they draw you almost all blanks and their hand is 100% gas. This is game 3. Yeah, I'm honestly of the opinion that if they think Jeskai's at a spot where they like, we should probably just unban Veil of Summer. We really need better tools to fight what this deck is doing. Although, honestly, that's probably a worse idea than just, like, getting rid of Memory Lapse. Yes. Yeah, I think that's the big things that stand out in my mind, God Baron, is Jeskai gained a bunch of automatically best answers. Lapse, Helix, who remove deck building decisions from Jeskai and have instead substituted them with these must-play cards. Will I take Modern, MH2, build submission / build rounds? Maybe sparingly. If I do, I'm going to be really selective.
I hope it's not too hot for you. The focus and just keep an open mind.
Yeah. There wasn't really much we could do there. Their memory basically drew us 5 blanks. I will say, Bob, have you liked Kiora in this deck, Bob? How much have you played with her? Because she's felt really bad in this set. And it's part of it is definitely the fact that we're playing against a bunch of Jeskai control, but like, yeah, when she doesn't have the ability to draw cards, she really doesn't seem great. Can I try this one? This card, like, always impresses me when I play it and things. We play a couple of copies of this in the Volocomist deck, and she's always impressive there. Yeah, Kasmina can combo with herself. I'm gonna just play 3, actually. thank you to the 338 subs that have taken a couple of minutes out of their day to fill out the sub survey already, by the way. Appreciate you. We currently have 2,422 subscribers on the channel, so I believe that all of y'all can take a second to do it. It's not like a wizard survey or a corporate survey in general. It's going to take a while. If you haven't done one of my surveys before, it's literally less than 3 minutes. There's how many multiple choice questions? There's fill in your Twitch username and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multiple choice questions. We're currently about 70% in favor of seeing Modern on the channel. So it's looking like that's gonna be a thing we do at least once. Oh man, this doesn't automatically pick the card when there's one card in my graveyard. That's a choice. Yeah, it's 47% in favor, 29% against, 24% indifferent. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Purdy. I hope Runeterra can fix their stuff and get back around to a point where I enjoy. Their software quality and animations are really fantastic, and I do say I miss them. But the current quality of their gameplay is just so bleh. I follow a couple of Runeterra creators on Twitter, just to like keep an eye on the format.
This is a plane worth saving. You'll have to get through me first.
Ooh, that's a great draw. So I get to do this and do a Thoughtseize now.
Prepare to marvel at my masterpieces.
Well, this doesn't have haste, so I can't like, this only makes artifacts and other things, so.
Full of surprises.
Yeah, the Runeterra people I follow on Twitter do not seem like they like where their game is at currently. It felt like I looked at some of the posts and stuff. It felt like the Riot community person that responded to their meta concerns kind of inverted the Runeterra community, for lack of a better term. They like use their data to say like things are fine because this has like X win rate, even though things really aren't fine. They're like, no, you don't get it. Things are okay. And it's like, well.
I will fight for my friends. How convenient. An excellent choice.
My algorithm shows you should be having fun. Yeah, exactly that. That's the type of response to it. My algorithm shows you should be having fun.
You're better than I expected.
I feel like your surveys are too short. To be fair, my surveys are kind of like a choose your own adventure book, because you can fill in as much as you want in the free answer section. Although I should quantify when I say, if you read the free response sections, I have like a 3-paragraph limit. well, so like your comment there is substantial. One thing that I think is super important to acknowledge in general, and I think this is something too many card game players do too often, is it's like other card games don't have to like eclipse Magic to be successful, right? Like Magic is this huge game, and like you can play Magic and enjoy it and also enjoy other games simultaneously. Like you don't have to only do Magic. And like, you know, there's plenty of game players in the world. Alright, so I think I kill Narset here rather than let them draw another card. I used my free comment section to inquire as to when we were doing a hot tub stream. Asking the real questions. Oh, I should have plussed her after I did this.
A curious choice.
So, Hearthstone's popularity is difficult to measure because Hearthstone on Twitch has an auto-battler wrapped up into it as well. So you can't just like compare Hearthstone's Twitch metrics to Magic's Twitch metrics. Thanks for 25 months, Quintivis. Welcome back. Because the data is very muddied there because... What happened to Runeterra? I have a video. If a mod is feeling particularly helpful, could we add a LOR what happened link, my YouTube video to that LOR command? I wrote a thing up about it, or made a thing up about it.
I have let all of you down.
I gotta make some artifact friends here.
Withstand a righteous arm.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army. So I think what Karn is saying here with this voice line is if we're able to defeat Jeskai, that they're objectively evil, right? Because we have our righteous army. I don't play Souls games. I don't like them. If you dig through, actually the Twitch archive's probably gone. There was like 45 minutes of me trying to play Bloodborne, and it's just not fun for me. Listen, chat. Magic the Gathering already completely occupies the space of makes me feel miserable while playing a game sometimes.
You shall remove that thought.
So, all the other games I play need to be pure fun. Master Chief, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Are we helixing Saheeli here? So Twitch doesn't keep VODs forever, and I didn't post it to YouTube because the session was so bad, so... Wow! Shatter my Karn struct. This is rude.
Need to iterate.
Join my order. Unity is necessary in times of war. Every day is a new lesson.
Alright, so I think because we hit the land here, I'm gonna go draw a card with Karn. Because they basically have to sweep here again. There's no real reason to make a token and play into a sweeper more.
You know what? I'm not.
I'm not done yet. Have we hit non-control opponents today with this deck? The ladder's basically been all control since all day. The whole day's just been Jeskai control.
What was lost is now returned.
Thanks for the follow, Scout. Yeah, someone who loves superheroes. I was sad that the Avengers game was so poorly done.
Today I craft my victory.
I might still play the single player at some point.
I will teach you how to handle the difficult choices.
Oh, I should plus her first, right?
Everyone complains to me about the weather.
Goat napped! So the 16 months. Good afternoon. One dead Teferi, please. Speaking of Avengers, assemble!
I suppose that's how it
Again, they already kinda need to sweep the board, so I'm just plussing her here. I'm gonna hold on to this to loot away with her at some point. Are these Exodia pieces? Yeah, basically. As an accurate summary here. Alright. We have defeated Gandalf. Kasmina looked pretty good there, chat. Yeah, the fact that she's a threat on her own and provides a little bit of card selection is really nice. The other important question on the survey, past just should we try some modern, is are 3 Magic decks with about 5 hours of Magic content per day a good amount of content for most people? And it looks like that's pretty overwhelmingly yes, so that's good. It's nice to know my ratios are about where they need to be. Kasmina 4 better than Teferi 4? I don't know. Teferi 4 is not great into a bunch of Narsets. Nah, I don't think so, Steric. I don't think Pioneer really has anything meaningful to offer that Historic doesn't. The reason to dip into something like Modern on MTGO is because Horizons is offering some interesting deck building options. This hand's so good with the Black Source. Bob, are you in chat? Tell me if I should mulligan. I'll let you decide. I could be greedy and keep this. We're on the draw. How many black sources are we on? I have the overlay, right? We're 34% to draw a black source, so we'd have to miss twice. So that's 0.6 times 0.6. We're 70-ish% to the black source in 2 draws. I forgot the overlay. God bless you, Untapped. Swish. Never didn't have it. Blind Prophet. Blind Prophet, are you the reason we drew the black source? If you tell me we should give you credit for it, I'll believe you. You are the prophet after all. Thanks for the brand new sub. Opponent's hand made me literally groan. Big mood. If I wanted to switch to a deck that stuffed Gandalf in a box, what should I play? So that's the thing. Gandalf doesn't really have any just bad matchups. It's the reason why all the big brain tryhard people play it. Because they want to feel smart, chat. Things like black aggro have like a decent control matchup, but like it's not just like automatic win. Yeah, I think red white mid range has a fine control matchup, but again, they're not just like, oh, you're guaranteed to win. You still have to like actually play a game. Duration, do you prefer bits or dollar dues? Whatever you prefer to do, God Baron. If you do cheer at least 10k bits, you get a whale emote in chat, though. Oh, you're a tier 3 sub, so you've got a whale already. There's a few different sea creatures. Their third memory lapse. You smart people that at least it's fast one way or another. Big mood. I would say the good news is we can't get memoried again, except they can commit us, and then they can shuffle the 4 memories back into their deck. So chat, don't jinx us. Don't put that bad mojo on me, chat. Yeah, and like, this is a great example of evaluating your games against Jeskai control. Because, like, for example, this game hasn't felt good, but we're actually not behind at the moment because my opponent doesn't have something like an Azcanta or a Teferi sitting here generating card advantage. So, like, this game is currently at parity until someone sticks something to try and pull ahead. And Karn could have been that something for us. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I won't hide. Let's skip to the good part.
Just the trick for this.
Then this mother tucker shows up.
Such violence is upsetting.
Hold that thought.
Create great things, you and I.
Not quite good. If this hadn't resolved, I would have conceded. But that resolved, so we'll play on. No, we've got one more magic deck after this. We're gonna be some Gandalfs ourselves. I have a blue-white Stifle Lotus Field control deck. And we're gonna play as our third deck today.
Do not mistake grace for weakness.
Really interested to see what, for people that aren't plugged in, the set championship is this weekend, and it's historic and standard. So that will be a larger tournament that should give us a good kind of feel for what the good players think is good. And we'll get to see how those, how what they're playing lines up against. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how varied their format is, basically, right? Like, do we have like a tainted pack league weekend type situation where half their field all shows up with the same deck? Like, if half the set championship is Jeskai and Phoenix, like, something should probably change there.
Accept defeat for now.
Is 5-color Niv plus Enigmatic Incarnation Builder on a possibility? It definitely can be Swift. It's a very generous pile of bits. Let me know, would you like to see that tomorrow morning first thing? Or is there a particular other day of the week you would like to see that played? I could do whatever works for you. Mono black was like 60, mid 60s, I believe, Todd. The sample size was also small though. Like the number of games for mono black, I think was like, I don't think anybody played it outside of the Hooglandia tournament. Probably a $50 submission would probably get played Thursday, Kraken, because I had 2 cuts today, so I'm only going to play 1 deck out of the actual queue today, because this deck and the next deck we're going to do were cuts. So this is a little thing with the discard spells, but it's frequently incorrect to play your Thoughtseize on 1 if you don't expect your opponent to have 1-mana spells that you care about, because we want to give my opponent extra time to draw those 2+ mana spells that I care about. So I don't even think that it was only good for Hoots, Todd, so much as people just didn't register it. People don't innovate. People don't innovate is basically like the TLDR. So it'll be interesting to see with Black Aggro winning our tournament, how many people then start showing up with it because it won a tournament now. So I would actually recommend against getting Kaladesh remastered packs unless you explicitly want other non-fast land cards in there. Because other than fast lands, there aren't a lot of format staples in that. in that set. The profile command in chat pulls up my untap page directly. Bye bye Kaladesh packs. I hate the Kaladesh board forever. Asking the real questions. And as always, if you're wondering what are the best sets to buy to get historic cards, you check out my most recent top 5 video where I broke all that down. They're missing red mana, chat.
My students are loyal and brilliant. I can be your mentor if your mind is willing.
Is it worth it to buy Anthology 5? If you think you're going to play with the Praetors at some point, it's definitely worth buying Anthology 5. No joke, Lampton. I will probably make one of those videos like a year from now, but I think I only have like 6 or 7 top 5 videos at this point. So, probably a silly one to make it to start.
If I could just distill lightning into a potion.
There are so many mysteries to uncover.
I'm not gonna lie.
God, Baron Von YOLO Slag. Thank you for the very generous tip. I assume that's to buy out the stream for a day next week like you were talking about. Grab your dashboard here. This is for a stream takeover either next Tuesday or Wednesday. Either works for me. I'll send you a decks to build around in Discord. Sounds fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna do one more at this. So I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna concede if they're playing Jeskai. I really want to get a match against not Jeskai control. If they show us Kira as a companion, I'm gonna concede and try and fight. Like my goal in playing decks is to like highlight them in different matchups, and we've played against infinite Jeskai, and I would rather Luris. Sweet, yeah, sign me up. Lasso of Truth, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Umbra, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Sweet. I got some Marduki on my face. So they don't have white sources at the moment, but I think I'm still supposed to take the Adanto Vanguard, right? And then we hope to, like, find a Thoughtseize before they can Silverquill command. Yeah, Triome looking like a spell for sure.
Enough.
I'm gonna play the untapped land here and leave up Thoughtseize / Bloodchief Thirst / Inquisition.
I know 88
Nailed it. See, chat? Skill game. Nice. Alright, so I know the discard spells were okay in that game, but I'd rather have a bunch of removal here. Is this a Lovestruck Beast matchup? I guess it's like fine against it's fine against Adanto, huh? Just like Brick Walls it. I have a lot of good ways to kill Adanto though. What if we like trim 2 Lovestruck? Is that silly? Just like play 2 of them? I think it might be into 2 Lovestruck. Could trim a Narset? No, Narset's glowing red wub of no gives me life. I could see trimming some of our top end because we are bringing in Extinction Event. We're bringing in 4s to like trim other 4s. You can see that being reasonable as well. A very good stretch. It's going to get outclassed by Death Shadow in the long game, and Silverquill lets it jump up over the top. I had a nickel or dime for every time I tried to draw a card with Narset out, I'd be in the $2 range. Yeah, you and me both. Hey, cast Boros Charm. I think there's a reasonable Esper Shadow deck. Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess my question is like, what are you doing with blue? Like, what are your blue cards doing? What are they accomplishing for you? Ooh, Ojutai's command is sweet. Is Ojutai's command better than Silverquill command though? Silverquill command's more aggressive. It gives you evasion. That's the thing, right? Like I've thought about like other things you can splash, and just like none of the splashes feel better than just like playing black-white. Like why? Why not play both? Because that's a lot of 4-mana spells.
It's us or them. Join my cause.
Join my cause. How bad is Lazav? Perfect, Baron. Noise.
We are the future.
I'm gonna use this turn to make mana, but I'm gonna explicitly not activate her because I want to have selection next turn. See, chat? Silverquill command. It's real good. What's going on, Jabrizi? Yeah, okay, I think seeing the way that played out, I'm in for the other Lovestruck Beast. Let's trim the cards, I think. So, the good graveyard decks in this format, like, don't really care about Ashiok Dreamrender. Like, Phoenix will just use its graveyard all in the single turn. It's not like they put the Phoenixes in there proactively and, like, wait to bring them back. Yeah, I think if you want to try and play Lazal, you need to be doing something inherently kind of broken, like what's it called? Roxa. For a way to get rid of this.
I expected better from you.
The only card in their graveyard? No. Is it crazy to -1 Narset here? I think is the play. Four years of subs. It's a lot of ups and downs. Glad you stuck at it for so long. Thanks for the 48 months, Thought Knots. And welcome back. It's funny, I posted this on Twitter last night, but my Twitch channel has been partnered for 69 months now, chat. It's been a long time coming. I think we just bottom anything that's not one of our sweepers here. Let's get rid of the evens here. I think I'm going to shock this in so I can threaten to activate Relic. Sedge. Oh, we're leaving me Narset.
I have other students
Okay.
to observe.
Hey, Exit Sad. Thanks for the quarter of year. Welcome back. Appreciate you keeping me around. I want to draw a card. It's why Relic is good, chat, because it draws cards. Boom. Goodbye. Goodbye, kitty cat. So, we're a little bit behind at the moment. Technically ahead on mana. They have 5 cards in their bin because Faithless Looting is messed up. Okay, I mean, that answers Shadow, and it doesn't give them a card in the bin for Kroxa. Welcome back, Sid. But I feel like Languish is a sweet break. It's pretty reasonable.
Listen up, and I'll teach you a trick or two.
I think I'm just passing here. This gives them the opportunity to kill her without me activating for a thing, which feels bad, but
I have learned.
I think trying to hold on to the selection has value here. So, got punished there for my line, but I think it's the correct one. I don't know. The more I've played with these Sultai variations of the Super Friends deck, the less excited about them I've become. I feel like the Teamer variations are just kind of better suited for what this style of deck is looking to do. Kasmina as a whole is a very, like, proactive planeswalker, and I feel like getting to pair her with Sarkin is just such a nice thing to get to do, and yeah, the explosiveness of the Teamer deck has a lot of appeal to it, and while the Teamer deck has some good aggressive draws, it also has that little bit of interaction with things like Glorybringer and Bonecrusher Giant. I mean, this build's not trying to be fast is the thing, so, like, they're kind of operating on different axes. I mean, things like Dragonstorm aren't super popular, Bob. But, like, yeah, it's kind of mid-rangey, and you gotta draw your hate cards against the combo decks. I think I'd rather be the Teamer deck against anything fair, though, and this format is definitely a lot more fair deck stuff than unfair deck stuff in the current format. So, I think, in general, if you told me I was gonna play against a bunch of combo, I think I agree with you that this is the kind of build I would like to be with, like, this discard-based disruption, but against everything else, the average case that this format has right now, I'd much rather be leveraging the Teamer variation. And if you're someone that hasn't seen us play the Teamer variation before, Teamer Super Friends is one of the many historic decks you can find with deck lists and videos up there on my website. You can check that out at your leisure. Don't go